guys, it's Divine Way here and welcome back to my channel. So if you watched my last video, I talked about the modeling industry in Nigeria and I used my personal experience as case study. So this is the second part of the video where I'm going to be talking about 5 ways on how to identify if an agency is a fake agency or if an agency is legit. So without further ado, let's go straight into the video. So for those of you who want to join an agency, the first step I'm going to say is research and ask questions. The first thing you want to do when you want to join an agency, you want to make sure that you research. You want to make sure that you do your research, guys. It's very, very crucial. It's very important. You can use different search engines like Google, for instance. You can Google best agencies in Nigeria, best agencies in my country. For instance, if I'm from Australia, I'll say best agencies in Australia, best agencies in Canada, best agencies in America. Like, I just want to find out, I want to do my research and read about the agencies and the agencies that I want to join. You want to ask yourself questions. What kind of modeling am I interested in? Do I want to be a runway model? Do I want to be a commercial model? Like, for instance, some people want to be commercial models, and then you go and join an agency that mainly focuses on runway modeling. So when you get there, you end up not getting the kind of jobs that you expect. So you want to ask yourself, what kind of jobs do I want? What kind of model do I want to be? If you want to be a commercial model, then go ahead, join a commercial agency. There's a lot of commercial agencies in different countries that you can join. If you research, I'm sure you're going to find some. And if you want to be a runway model, there's so many agencies that specialize on high fashion modeling and runway modeling. So you want to ask yourself questions. What do I really want to do? Okay, you can say, oh, if I don't meet the height requirement, for instance, let's say you're a model and you're like 5'5" and you feel like you don't reach the height requirements for a runway or a fashion model, you can easily just be a commercial model. Then you go to research for agencies that are specialized in commercial modeling and you try to sign up with those kind of agencies. So one thing that's very crucial that you want to do is your research. Also, in terms of asking questions, for instance, an agency might invite you to come over. Maybe the agencies met you on Instagram, as was in my case. They might ask you to come for a meeting or whatever. The agent or the scout might ask you to come for a meeting. You want to make sure that you ask questions. Don't ever be afraid to ask questions, because a person that asks questions never loses their way. So you want to ask questions to know detailed questions, to know and get really detailed answers. If you ask questions and the person you are asking is stuttering or giving you answers that are not very detailed, you should probably run for your life, because that is a scam agency. You want to make sure that the agency that you're joining is giving you details. They are telling you exactly what you want to hear. They are giving you correct answers. If you ask them questions, they should be ready to answer you with very detailed answers. And yeah, you want to make sure they answer you with very detailed answers. And also, an agency that will probably rush you into trying to sign a contract with them, or trying to make you sign a contract real quick, or giving you shady answers, you should probably run for your life, because that is a scam agency. Any legit agency will definitely give you all the answers to all the questions. Number 2, no legit agency is going to ask you to pay up a startup fee. Now, any agency that requests that you pay a startup fee before you get signed with agency is a scam agency, and you should run for your life. Let me tell you why. When an agency says they want to represent you, when they make the decision to want to represent you, it's all a business. They're not doing you a favor. It's a partnership. They are providing you with representation, and you're providing them with jobs and income. So when an agency is going into partnership with you, the way I see it, because they're not doing you a favor, the agency is looking at the future whereby you're going to generate income for them as well as for yourself. So no agency is going to ask you to pay up a startup fee of any amount, because they already know that in the future they're going to be making a truckload of money from you, or a ton of money from you. They already know they're going to be making money from you in the future. So there's no need to request for a startup fee from you. So any agency who asks you for a startup fee for anything whatsoever, be it portfolio, photography, whatever, is probably a scam agency. So straight up to number 3, legitimate modeling agencies will only ask you to meet them in normal business days, which is Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Any agency that asks you to come and meet them at in the weekends, or in the evening, or in the midnight, or in the night, is probably a scam agency, and you should run for your life. Like, it is not a safe bet to go and meet an agency on the weekends or in the evenings. Any legit modeling agency runs with the normal business time of 5 working days and 9 to 5. So if you're looking for an agency to join and they say, oh, you know what, you can come in on Monday morning, so time, that is probably a good sign, knowing that, okay, this agency is operating like an organization and they're working with the normal business hours. But if the agent or the scout starts telling you, oh, you know what, come in the evening by 9 p.m. or come in the weekends, you should probably just know that, oh, this is not a safe bet. Now, in situations whereby you still want to go, or you still want to go in those odd hours, that's fine, but you should always be allowed to, established modeling agency or every good modeling agency would always allow you to come with a parent or a guardian or a friend. Any agency that says to you that you can't come with your friend or you can't come with your family members or you can't come with anybody is probably a scam agency and you should run for your life. This is because especially for underage models, if you're going for a shoot or if you're going for anything in general and you don't feel safe or you don't feel secure, it's very advised that you go with your friend, you go with your family, or you go with someone. Any agency that says you can't bring in a third party is probably a scam agency and you should run for your life. If it's in the case of a shoot, because most photographers do not like taking pictures with models when there is someone else on set that is not supposed to be there, then your guardian or your friend or your parents can wait for you in the other room or in a separate room. But a legit agency will always allow you to come in with your friend or your family or someone. But if they specifically specify that do not come with anybody, then they probably have an agenda for you and you should run for your life. Now on to number 4. You want to make sure that you review every paperwork and contract. Make sure that you review every paperwork and contract before you sign anything. I mean, I know you're not a lawyer or anything, but if you don't understand what is written in the contract, then you should probably give it to someone else who has more knowledge in the legitimate field, who has more knowledge as a lawyer or something to read it up for you. If you have a lawyer, that's fine. You give the contract to your lawyer to read, or you could just calm down and read it. Make sure you don't sign anything that you're not sure of. If you suspect something shady, do not sign any contract. Do not enter into any contract or partnership with any agency that you do not believe in. If the contracts are shady or if you don't understand anything, like I said in my number 2, always make sure that you ask questions. You always ask questions like, oh, okay, what does this mean? What does that mean? What does this mean? Before you go into signing any contract with any agency, right? For instance, in my country, Nigeria, the average commission that is taken out of model's payment for jobs is 30%. The agency gets 30% from the income of the model. Now, if you're going through a contract by an agency and the commission that is taken by the agency is more than 30% or it's like 60%, while the model gets 40%, you should probably ask questions and you should probably run for your life, because that is a scam agency. Because the average commission that is taken in my country, I do not know about other countries, but in Nigeria is 30% or sometimes 20%. So you have to make sure that you are very clear with what is written in the contract before you sign any contract. Do not sign a contract that you are not sure of, guys. Last but not the least, guys, is number 5, which is reputation. You want to check the reputation of the agency that you want to join. One thing you have to check is if the agency has a website. Now, if they have a website, you need to check the models on the website. What kind of models do they represent? Do you fit into this criteria of the kind of models that are in this agency? How do the models look? Do you like what the models stand for? Do you like what the pictures look like? Do you like what they represent? You want to check the reputation of the agency. Is this agency known for scam? Is it known for extortion? Have there been any bad news associated with the agency? Do you want to be represented by an agency that's already standing for corruption, standing for extortion, standing for a scam? You want to check that the agency has a clean slate. The agency has done a lot of professional jobs. Their models stand for professional things. You want to be represented by a great agency and not one that has a backstory or a bad story. So yeah, guys, one thing you always must make sure you check is the reputation of the agency. Is this agency known for booking models for the best jobs? Is this agency known for having the best models? Is this agency known for good things and not bad? If the agency is known for bad things, you should probably run, because then it is a scam agency. So guys, these are my top 5 tips on how to spot a fake agency and how to know if an agency is legit. So you guys, if you like my video or if you feel like this video was helpful to you, please give it a big thumbs up. And even if you don't like the video or if it doesn't concern you, still give it a big thumbs up because you like my face. And yes, guys, and if you haven't subscribed, please go on to the red button and make sure you subscribe. Now, I just want to give a general remark and a general advice for upcoming models and models in general, because I feel like no matter how experienced you are, you can still be a victim to a scam. Like, no matter how much you think that you can still be a victim to a scam agency. So you just always have to be smart. So one advice I have for everybody who's interested in modeling or acting or whatever it is, one thing is always do what you're comfortable with. If you're in a situation where you're not comfortable with what is going on, you're not comfortable with the photographers, the way he's speaking to you, the way he's talking to you, the way the agent or the scout is talking to you or looking at you, you should speak your mind, or you should probably leave the situation. Do not ever make anybody pressure you or force you into doing anything you're not comfortable with. One thing that People know me for its comfort. I like to be comfortable. If I'm in a situation where I'm not comfortable, I'm gonna leave that situation, because it's not just good for my mental health. So I feel like, you guys, one thing you should take personal is your comfortability. In terms, if you're doing a shoot, if you're being represented by an agency, if you're meeting with a scout or a managing director or whatever, you have to make sure you make it known what you're comfortable with. And whatever you're not comfortable with, don't be silent and say, oh, I don't know. You ask questions. Always do what you're comfortable with, and don't let someone pressure you into doing what you're not comfortable with. And last but not the least, there's also cases of, photographers always wanted to take like explicit photos of people. It's okay, for instance, if Vogue wants to take a nude photo shoot, at least this is a big brand, and this is probably going to be used professionally and nothing like that. But some photographers that are just starting up just tell you, I want to take photos of you, and they take explicit images of you, and you don't even trust them. They don't sign, you don't go into any contract with them of like non-disclosure, and before you know it, they're leaking your photos online, or you're seeing your photos in different places. So you want to be very careful with the kind of photographers that you work with. If they are going to take explicit photos of you, make sure you are clear. I don't stand for this, I don't want to do this, or okay, I'm cool with this, but you have to be very sure of what you're doing, because this is modeling, guys, and it could easily like lead into something that you're not prepared for or you're not ready for. So you always have to make sure that you ask questions. Now, I know photographers will always come to models and say, oh, I want to take pictures of you. Don't worry, you don't have to pay me. It's going to be a collaboration shoot. Don't worry, it's free shoot. It's going to be nice on your portfolio. And you as a model will be thinking, it's going to be really nice for me. I mean, I don't have to pay this photographer, and I get to have some amazing photos in my portfolio. Be very careful, guys. Some photographers do not have you in mind. They just want to exploit you. They just want to molest you, or they just want to leak your pictures or do whatever. So you have to be very careful as a model. So these are my 5 tips. I hope you guys enjoyed my 5 tips and advice on how to spot a fake agency and how to know a legit agency. And I hope this is going to be able to convince you and not to confuse you why it's very crucial that you join a legit agency. Till next time, don't forget to subscribe. Bye.